Hey there guys, how's it going? I'm Corey. This is the How to Adult Show, where we teach the basics of personal finance that I think we should all be taught in school. But we're not, so I created this database of free personal finance lessons to help you get your butt in gear, get motivated to improve your financial situation, and start building a life that is financially secure and comfortable and happy and that you love. Episodes come out every Monday, so if this sounds like something that you've been looking for, then make sure you go ahead and hit subscribe to the channel. And also, don't forget to like this video if you enjoy today's episode. Otherwise, no pressure. You don't have to like the video. You can even dislike the video if you want to. So, if you've been around here for a while, you've heard me talk about something called lifestyle creep. And you know the importance of making sure that you don't unknowingly start to bump up and increase your lifestyle expenses higher and higher as you naturally start to earn more money in your career over time. But lifestyle creep isn't always a direct result of your actions. So what do you do if your living expenses go up because your service providers, like your internet service provider or your car insurance company, keep on raising their rates? The good news is that it is absolutely in your power and your rights to negotiate a lot of these recurring bills. The bad news is that it's just another one of those annoying life chores that you're just gonna have to get into the habit of doing. The other good news, though, to bookend that in good news, is that because customer retention is so important and so cost effective to a lot of companies, chances are you're probably going to have pretty good success negotiating a lot of your recurring bills when the prices increase. Most companies want to keep you as their customer more than they want to get that extra $10 a month out of you. So in today's episode, I'm going to walk you through 6 negotiation tips to help you feel more confident renegotiating your recurring bills so that you can save yourself literally thousands of dollars over the course of your life just by doing this. Before we dive in though, I want to say a quick hello and welcome to the How to Adult Show. I'm your host, Corey Fowler, and this is your source for all the important adulting life skills, like personal finance, that you wish someone had just taught you in school. So make sure you hit subscribe and let's get started. Sometimes rate hikes happen annually, and sometimes you'll know exactly when the lower rate that you previously negotiated or your introductory rate is going to expire. Either way, I recommend setting a date in your calendar to review all of your recurring bills and expenses at least once a year. Look for recurring bills that have hiked their rates in the last year and which ones you might be able to renegotiate. Now, I know, don't click away. I understand that it can feel awkward if you're not used to negotiating. You're probably going to feel nervous to pick up the phone. You're going to worry about what to say. But remember, it is completely acceptable and completely normal to negotiate your bills. It does get easier, I promise, and it's important to remember that the sales associate on the other end of the line doesn't know you, will never know you, and they don't actually care about you or the rate that you're getting, so they don't mind discussing it with you. There's nothing personal about it at all. There's nothing rude about it at all. So, that being said, pep talk aside, if you're keen to try negotiating some of your bills back down again but feel a little nervous about giving it a go, here are 6 tips that I use to negotiate my bills regularly. And truly, over the course of several years of doing this regularly has saved me thousands of dollars over time, and doing this will help you start saving money like this as well. Negotiation tip number 1 is to do your research. Before you call in, make sure you've done some research and discovered what other introductory rates and offers are available to you from other companies offering a similar service. If you're lucky, some companies have automatic price match guarantees. This means that as soon as you bring them a competitive quote, they'll drop your rates back down to match that competitor's quote. Most of the time, though, we should be so lucky, and companies will be able to reduce your rates. They just make you work a little bit for it first. So make sure you've done your research, maybe make a list of competitive offers from other companies, and then call in and say something like, "Hi there, I have a few questions about my recent bill. I noticed my rates have gone up since I signed up, and I'd like to see what we can do to lower my rates. Is this something that you can go through with me?" More often than not, in return, the sales associate will say, "I'm sorry, but you have the lowest rate for your service that we currently offer." In which case, then you can start to negotiate, pulling from the other competitive offers that you've already received that you made a list of from doing your research at the beginning of this video. Most of the time, after a little bit of friendly back and forth, the sales associate will then give a little bit of ground and you'll be able to find some sort of special promotion that they can apply to your bill for a certain period of time. Sometimes, though, you just won't get anywhere with a sales associate, in which case you can move on to tip number 2, which is to ask to cancel your service. If the sales associate that you're speaking with isn't budging, say something along the lines of, okay, thank you for your time and help with this. Unfortunately, this rate is just more than I wanted to pay for my service, so I would like to cancel my account. Can you transfer me to someone who can help me with this? Most big companies, like internet providers, for example, will have a customer retention department. And these are the people who can cancel your service and contract for you. But before they do that, they often have the power to do more massaging of your rates and services and can usually find some more savings that the first sales associate you were speaking with just didn't have access to. Again, use your script of, I would like to cancel my service, please, because this rate is more than I signed up for and more than I want to pay. X company has offered me this rate, so I'm going to switch to them. Now, you might be a little worried about this tactic because what if you don't actually want to cancel your service? The truth is, though, that the person on the other end of the line doesn't want you to cancel your service either and will almost never come right back at you with the steps to cancel your account. They're either going to offer you a discount or offer you an improvement in the service which justifies the rate hike and might make it worth your while, or it might not. From there, you can either accept their offer right away if it's what you wanted, or you can continue to negotiate. There are often several layers of savings or temporary discounts that they can layer onto your account. So if you decide that you're actually sort of enjoying this and want to see how good of a deal you can get, then you can move on to negotiation tip number 3, which is to ask about specific discounts. Ask about specific discounts that the company has that could apply to you. Some companies offer discounts that can continue to be applied to further reduce your rate below what you've already negotiated. These discounts really vary based on what the service and the bill is that you're negotiating, but some examples include loyalty discounts, student discounts. You can get discounts by paying the annual fee up front instead of month to month. You can get discounts for using snow tires in the winter instead of all-season tires for your car insurance if you live in Canada. I don't know if you can see the massive amount of snow we have out the window behind me. Anyway, back to discounts. What was I saying? You could get referral discounts if you get a family member to sign up for their service. You could get disability discounts or seniors discounts. There are so many options in this category. It's worth doing a bit of thinking and a bit of research and figuring out what type of discounts the company offers and how they can be applied to you. Last but not least, one of the biggest discount categories that actually leads us to our next negotiation tip is bundling your services together. Many companies are going to offer discounts if you bundle multiple services together under their provider or bundle other family members together under your account. This doesn't apply to every company and service, but lots of companies offer multiple services like internet and TV and phone plans and home security, and you can save a lot of money on each of these services by bundling them together under the same provider. The same goes for car insurance. You can save lots of money by having everyone in your family use the same car insurance provider. It's also very helpful if you're young, pro tip, to start out on your parents' car insurance policy so that you can build a good driving record before switching to your own policy, which is likely going to make it much less expensive when you already have a few years of clean driving recorded under your belt under your parents' policy. Negotiation tip number 5 is to be persistent. So sometimes you'll find yourself speaking with a sales associate who just doesn't seem to be interested in helping you at all. Maybe you got off on the wrong foot with them, maybe they're just having a tired day and don't feel like negotiating, or maybe they are actually telling you the truth and they cannot help you reduce your rate anymore. Either way, it's well worth learning to recognize when you're not making any progress. Cut your losses and thank them for their time before you hang up the phone and try calling back again to speak to someone different. I've saved $30 a month on my internet bill through an easy conversation with one salesperson, while 10 minutes previously I'd been having a long-winded and painful conversation with another associate who swore black and blue that there was nothing at all that they could do to lower my rates any further. This can be frustrating, sure, but honestly, that's just how sales works. That's just how these companies work. And it's up to you to get good with your negotiation skills and to increase that comfort level so that you don't get frustrated and you don't get worked up if you're not getting anywhere. You may just need to try again and speak with someone else, and the difference in results truly can be night and day. Finally, this brings us to our last negotiation tip, number 6, which is to be kind. I feel like this is often, unfortunately, an overlooked negotiation tactic because many of us think of media and movie portrayals of negotiation tactics. And it brings to mind men in suits yelling at the little guy and abusing them into giving them what they want, and that's just not how it actually works in real life. My Nana always used to say to us, you catch more flies with honey, and that absolutely applies to this scenario. Being kind always wins, and it keeps you from starting to hate and to dread negotiation because you always end up frustrated and yelling. Don't try to be a tough-ass negotiator and intimidate or bully anyone into giving you a discount. Instead, be firm about what you want, flexible with how you get it. So distracting. And be kind to the person who is going to help you get it. I promise they will be so much more interested in helping you if you ask them how they are, how their day is going. Thank them for looking into things with you. Remember, use your pleases and thank yous. You were taught that for a reason. And beyond anything, watch your tone of voice when you're trying to negotiate. Being kind when you're negotiating with most people usually means you're going to get closer to achieving what you want and won't ruin someone else's day in the process, and you won't hang up feeling frustrated or angry or even worse, smug, which is one of those really ugly emotions that even though it's positive and you feel like you won, it still manages to be a really sort of icky negative emotion to carry with you for the rest of the day. So I'm getting distracted. I digress. All that to say, please remember to be kind. That's usually the best bet. And if the person who you're speaking to on the other end of the line isn't matching you on that level of kindness, then again, just hang up and try back again. So take another look through these negotiation tips, do your research. If you need to push harder, ask to cancel your service, ask about what discounts are available to you, bundle services together, be persistent, and most importantly, be kind. Write any of these down that you think are going to help you, that you need to remember, and the next time you notice a rate hike in one of your recurring service bills, then just pull out that list of ideas, do some research, call your provider, and see about negotiating a better rate. It's not always the most fun way to spend your time, but usually you'll save so much money by doing it over the course of a year that it will absolutely at least pay your hourly and then some. If you have anything to add, like any other negotiation techniques that you found are helpful, please feel free to drop them in the comments below and help other people out. Also, if you found this episode helpful, please remember to hit like on it and maybe send it to a family member who might benefit from some negotiation coaching as well. Until next week, thank you so much for your time. It's great to have you here. Have an awesome week and good luck on your next bill negotiation day.